So, Caitlin Clark yesterday did one of what I will say is the funniest things I have ever seen on social media. I'm not gonna lie. Like, people say that blocking your haters is the best thing you can do. I think what Caitlin Clark just did might have caused one of the most hilarious meltdowns I've ever seen. Before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit, well, we can hit 25.8k by the end of it. It's insane. We're trying to hit 26k by the start of the season coming back. But this one is just funny. This is just so funny. And it all started from this right here. And again, everything's being blocked. Every username, everything is going to be blocked. Purely because the last time I talked about any of the like crazy Caitlin Clark hater stuff on Twitter, I got copyright striked. Thankfully, that has all been resolved, but I just don't. First of all, I don't think there's any point doing that because there's no point bringing attention to anything, and it's also it isn't fair at the end of the day because I think bringing unnecessary hate to somebody based on a basketball opinion probably isn't the way to do it. So anyway, so it started off with this tweet right here. So this happened. This randomly just happened as some like election poster. Someone just decided to put Caitlin Clark on it. So then it was like everything, like everything was about, oh, this is Caitlin Clark, proof Caitlin Clark's MAGA, proof Caitlin Clark's all this and that. Like, oh, it's proof that Caitlin Clark is the worst person in the world. And it's like, no, like this is where the derangement comes in, where it's like, she has absolutely nothing to do with that. And if Caitlin Clark you do realize there's not enough hours in the day for Caitlin Clark to tell people to stop. Like, I'm not joking. If Caitlin Clark spent all the time that people want her to do going on social media, she's already said she doesn't agree with that stuff, going and calling out every individual negative thing that's said in her name, she'd be spending 24 hours a day doing it. She wouldn't be playing basketball and she might as well just retire. And I think that's what some of these people want. But that person quote tweeted that being like, it just shows what Caitlin Clark's really like, even though, again, that is just pure derangement. And then tweeted out this, I hate her and all the negativity she's brought to the WNBA. I mean, ironically, like, yeah, Caitlin Clark has brought more negativity to WNBA. So did LeBron to the NBA. So did Magic Johnson. When nobody's watching your sport, there's not going to be that much negativity at the end of the day. Like, let's not forget that. When nobody is watching your sport, there's going to be less negativity, just like there's going to be less positivity. That's why I have always said the person who has benefited most from the Caitlin Clark boom is A'ja Wilson, because she's having one of the greatest seasons of all time. And yeah, sure, she might be getting more hate than normal, but she's also getting 100 times more love than any other year that she's been getting, which she's deserved. She's one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world for the last half decade. So let's not like criticize the whole thing, because with more people watching, there's going to be more positivity and more negativity. But then, after seeing something like this, so obviously Caitlin Clark was on Twitter yesterday. I think it's the first time she's liked a tweet, tweeted anything, followed an account, and you want to know what she did? Instead of blocking that account, she followed the account. She decided to follow somebody who suffered from maybe the greatest case of Caitlin Clark derangement syndrome I've seen. She followed the person. And then the person went on again, and even more, just for lack of a better thing, unhinged just rant about the whole situation. And oh my god, she just continued to talk about the entire or how much she despised Caitlin Clark. And I just found that so funny. I found that so funny, because for me it's just funny. Like, people have always said, when people are asking me who the funniest player is on the team, like from our old team, they'll all be like, yeah, it's Caitlin Clark. It's like, that is the best thing you can do with the troll. Not block them. Not give them, because if you block them, they're like, oh, they're just soft, they blocked them. Follow them, and then unfollow them an hour later. It still might be one of the best chess moves I have seen. Because it is... Because all it did was, instead of the, like, oh, Caitlin Clark blocked you screenshot that normally people put up when they get blocked, and then it's like, oh, she's just soft, it just proves she's wrong. No, Caitlin Clark following, everybody realizing, okay, why is Caitlin Clark following, like, this massive Caitlin Clark hater? And then unfollowing an hour later, and it just becomes crazy on social media. Caitlin Clark yesterday, you saw it on Instagram. Caitlin Clark was commenting on every single Instagram post imaginable yesterday. It was probably the first time in a year Caitlin Clark got bored, was on her phone, and was like, okay, what can I do? Okay, I'm just gonna get some Twitter fingers here. I'm gonna go and write down find everything I can. I'm gonna go and respond to every Instagram post. I'm gonna just look on Twitter for the first time probably in months and see what's going on. And she seemed to be in such a good mood. Like, the Caitlin Clark World Tour is crazy. Like, she's gone from the Indiana State Fair to concerts to charity work. She was probably just bored and in a good mood. And I will always say this, as somebody who, during my 2K days, probably received more hate than any other content creator in that specific space. Like, I probably in the number one, the first percentile or 99% or whichever is the most. I probably have been on the in the top percentile of people who've received hate on YouTube. But when you're in a good mood, you laugh at the hate. And Caitlin Clark was probably being in a good mood, and she was like, you know what, I'm just going to see the ridiculous stuff that's being written about me on Twitter. And then goes and just follows the person, unfollows. I wouldn't be surprised if she was if she was doing that during the workout videos with, like, Aaliyah Boston, the team, being like, look at this nonsense. Look at this nonsense. Oh my god, this is dumb. Let's do this instead of block it. Or someone probably said, oh, just block them out. And she goes, no, I'm going to follow. And at the end of this workout, I'm going to unfollow and see what absolute nonsense she's caused. I'm not going to lie. I do need to stop saying that. It is an audible tick that I do say I'm not going to lie a lot. But I will try to stop that. But at the same time, I got to give credit where credit's due. I didn't think you had it in you. I didn't think you had it in you to just go and troll. I did not think you had it in you, Caitlin. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the trolling on social media. And look, if she didn't do anything and just let it go on and say it off social media, would that be better? Yeah. But she didn't go on the offensive. She didn't just start blocking people, which is completely justified as well. But just doing something as simple as following a troll account, unfollowing a troll account, caused mass hysteria in the Caitlin Clark hater community. I didn't think she had it in her to do that. I didn't think she had it in her to see the fire, and instead of trying to do something to put it out, when she knows she's not going to put it out, say, screw it, I'm never going to be able to put this out, let's throw gas on the fire. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.